designers here at Bungie on Destiny.
My name's Adam Williams. I'm a level artist on the Crucible team with Andrew.
We're here today to show you the new map Vertigo that you'll be able to play in the Taken King. This map is set on Mercury, as you can see by our proximity to the giant sun. It's a giant Vex platform way up in the sky. So there's a good opportunity here. Up to this point, we've only been to Mercury in Burning Shrine. And so coming back to Mercury and showing it in a new way was something I wanted to do right from the beginning. Mercury, of course, comes with all these Vex structures and theming. And one of the big things, see this piece out here, there's something very similar to that in the Burning Shrine skybox. And I kind of just said, hey, I want to go there.
Right off the bat, we had a really excellent, cool, fictional idea of a floating Vex fortress in the sky over the surface of Mercury. So we had a lot to run with, but one of the big things that we realized in development was how the symmetrical layout of this map led players to having a more difficult time determining precisely on which side of the map they were on. So some of the things that helped us determine how to break the map apart into different areas was, first off, very heavy directional sunlight, bathing one half of the map entirely in bright, warm sun color. The other side cast in shadow, lit with the artificial lighting of the Cabal, who have injected a little bit of interesting fiction into this map by sort of making their presence known by attaching these oppressive, warlike platforms onto the sides of the Vex architecture. So one of the really interesting things about the Cabal alien race is how they sort of characteristically have absolutely complete disregard for art and architecture and natural beauty. So wherever they go, they have explicit purpose to get exactly what they want. So what you see Andrew looking at right here is a massive hole that they've blown into the side of the Vex architecture, attached their platform as a staging area so that they can sort of get into the heart of this floating beast and extract whatever mysteries lie within. One of the questions we asked ourselves when we were developing this map is, where are the Cabal? We have really excellent fiction to sort of explain why these platforms are here, but the Cabal are no longer. Something drew the Cabal here, and even their warships lie derelict in the skybox.
So we'll give you a little loop of the entire map right here. This area right here is the Alpha Team spawn. And then you've got these multiple lanes to choose from. You can head right down the middle, marked by that laser. You can head up to the right side towards B in the teleporter, which you can see behind the pillar over there. Or you can head down to the left here, either by jumping or through the corridor, and this will get you to the A flag. So down here at A, we've got this little corner platform. You can see the steps that take you down around the side. Fair bit of cover around there, a couple good entrances on the ground. And then panning over here, we've got the teleporter platform, the destination platform. So this is a harrowing jump, but you can make it. We want you to feel a little uncomfortable, give you a little bit of vertigo, maybe. And then, up here we have, of course, the teleporter exit, the power position that gives you a look. Now we're coming back around to C. So over here, you see that Cabal structure that's been bolted onto the side of the map, as well as me right there.
This is, of course, the structure that parallels the A flag. This is a symmetrical layout, so we're essentially seeing the same set of macro forms and macro cover pieces. Yeah,
at a high level, these shapes are very similar. Same thing, if we pan over here, you see a similar little connection with the little side jump route. And then here we have this bolted-on platform of Cabal structure that provides the Bravo team landing zone. And then this continues around, and so you see a very similar route that will lead you up to the B flag area, as well as the teleporter entrance.
So I would say that this map would definitely work best with control, especially with this very interesting element that we brought in here. We actually have a Vex warp gate. This was something that we brought in kind of halfway through the development process as sort of a release.
It was kind of cool. We were working on this, and I had this 3-flag control point layout that I was pretty happy with. But Adam came up one day and was like, "Hey, what if we did a teleporter here?" And for this map, it really, I think, was what it needed to give it that identity of its own. So it's actually a one-way teleporter, because it takes you to this really valuable power position here. So you see point C over there on the Cabal platform, C for Cabal, of course. Looking the other way, you have the A platform out on the Vex structure. One given player can only cover one or the other from there, and you are very vulnerable doing so. That's why we wanted to make it that one-way teleporter as well, so you don't have people holding B and then cheesing their way back and forth through the teleporter. It's a hard commit when you come out.
Another interesting thing about this platform out here is if you hold sort of the A or C flag, you can get a good beat on this, and you can guard that pretty well. However, the porousness of the map and being on an extremity allows it's a fairly flankable position on these flags themselves, and there's a great deal of traffic that flows through here. The A and C flags cannot see each other, as you'll notice. There's this sort of dog leg that connects them, and it's a fairly short dog leg. But there's a lot of contentious battles that happen between these 2 points. There's also a central connection that goes right through the middle and back up towards your portal again. So this sort of here is the heart of the map, with a couple of really interesting death drops down below that continue to show off the excellent artwork done by our Skybox team, Mark Goldsworthy and his crew of guys. Incredibly talented guys that really, truly elevate this map to another level. And while we're sort of passing out props, I'd like to also mention the excellent work done by the lighting team on this map. It's just so phenomenal and atmospheric. They've done a great job, along with the effects dudes. Everything really came together to make this place feel truly alien and truly different than any other Crucible maps in Destiny to date.
Yeah, so this map is a very precarious map. You can see there's a lot of danger in here, and that's risky in a map. When Destiny first came out, you had players kind of wrapping their heads around the double jump and the glide and the lift, and as we move forward, I think you'll be able to see us take advantage of that a little bit more, and that's kind of where I wanted to go here. It can be very dangerous, it can be very precarious, but you see Adam taking this jump around the side there. It opens up these really great opportunities to make plays and do something really spectacular, or fail really spectacularly, which sometimes is almost as fun. Vertigo is the in-development name. When I created the new map file, I called it Vertigo, and when you were taking these jumps, I wanted that harrowing sense of, wow, there is a lot of distance between me and the ground right now. One of the things that Adam was talking about our center room in this map, and it's actually, in the timeline of building the level, this is actually one of the areas that came on kind of last. It was hard to figure out exactly how to connect all these spaces, but this is a really powerful position in this map, because right now you have that elevated position, you can drop down into these lower routes, but from that point you have access and control to the A flag, the B flag, the C flag, all on pretty short runs. You have access to the initial spawn landing zones for each team.
One other notable iteration during the creation process of Vertigo was when Andrew first provided me white box mass out of this map. It was, believe it or not, even more pitfall-y and death droppy than it is in its current iteration. If I recall correctly, there was another cut through sort of in this area that ultimately ended up, I believe, conjoining and becoming the middle.
Yep.
In the end.
I had it in my head. Well, the map I had worked on right before this was Sector 618, so I had jumps on my mind anyway. I had it in my head. I wanted to do this kind of wall jumping connection between the two. So there was just this vertical chasm that split this gap, and there were little ledges on each side. So to get across, you do a little hop left, right, and then left again. And a thing I find happens a lot when you're building a space like this, you have a lot of different ideas for, oh, this particular space would be really cool if I did this. But sometimes those ideas are, as much as you like that one idea, that idea is not right for the place you put it. And so one of the things that was really good in the iterative process is saying, you know what, let's not force this. And I think the result we got by closing that route off, it becomes much more clear where you're going. Just in general, at one time, you'd go into a path and you might have 3 or 4 choices ahead of you, and that becomes really overwhelming, especially in a PvP environment where somebody could jump out from any one of those. And I think generally speaking, we've settled in a pretty good spot where every time you take a route, there's pretty clear branching choices ahead of you. Even though on the grand scheme of going from one end of the map to the other, you have multiple choices along the way. At any given point, I think we do a pretty good job in this map of, so you can go this way, you can go this way, and then you move a little forward down one of those, then you can go this way or this way. And I'm a football fan, so I liken it to a quarterback kind of checking down the receivers. You want these quick reads that you can you can come around, you can read left, read right, read straight ahead, whatever directions you have, and then move forward to the next decision point and go forward that way.
Speaking of the consistent decision making in this map, one of my favorite areas, it's actually right outside of the A and C flags, is these little sort of figure eights that have been created with these blinds between the two pads. You get to do a lot of little cat and mouse, and you get to do a bit of a dance in these areas sometimes. If you're say sort of trying to flank around and take the alpha flag from the other team, you know, you have multiple ways to get in. Even when your radar right here is just bright red, just lit up, you can still have some really interesting flanking options to sort of fake guys out. If you're showing up on their radar, they think you're coming from here, from back there, and then it's really easy to get behind a couple of guys.
From a high-level perspective, this layout is still pretty much the same layout that I put in the first time we played it, but those micro details of, you know, this route moving over here, this little shortcut closing off entirely or opening up this jump route, things like that are really what kind of makes it that final experience that, you know, we put into the game and are proud to call part of Destiny.
I think we spent a lot of time trying to find the perfect balance for this map between distances and fairness and flow, especially with the sort of wild card that is the teleporter on the backside of the map that essentially shoots you 180 degrees to the other side.
The thing about greatest map is it's really all in the eye of the beholder. I've made some maps in my day that I'm not even especially proud of, but you know, there's always going to be something somewhere in the map that's going to click with somebody. You know, no matter what map we make for Destiny, that map's going to be at least one person's favorite map.
I think that this is probably one of the more unique map designs in the Taken King and in the Destiny universe altogether. The best designed map? I would certainly hope so, given that it's got my name on it. That's ultimately going to be, the community's going to have to decide that in the end, and you know, the user research statistics tend to give us good data on what the best map is.
UR data does not lie.
Yeah.
When I look at the variety of the maps that we've built for the Taken King, where, you know, we have some places on Earth we haven't gone before. You know, we go to the inside of the Cosmodrome Wall, we go back to the European Dead Zone in a, you know, kind of a spiritual successor to Widow's Court. We go out to Oryx's fleet. We have a fallen ship that's been battle damaged, drifting in the reef. We have this towering structure on Mercury. You know, they all have that visual style, and the layouts all bring that little character and personality to them, where you know, hopefully there's going to be a little something for everybody in one of these maps, and hopefully quite a few people will find a home they like here in this one.